It's May, and these Cabernet wine grapes are out of control. That's up next. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and again we're coming to you in May of 2024. One of the challenges when it comes to growing grapes, especially here in the desert, but really anywhere, is you get to this time of the year when the fruit set starts to come in, the vines get a little unruly, and we need to control them a little bit. So now the vines we're working on today are Cabernet wine grapes. We have 10 of them here surrounding our vineyard garden, and these are in their third year, so expecting a lot of production, but we need to actually start training these vines up. That way the fruit can actually see some sunlight in order for it to ripen well. So now when it comes to all of our vines, we've learned that having multiple wires between the 3-foot and 6-foot wire are critical, especially for this step. These new shoots can be really delicate, very easy for these to break off, but we also need to be able to get them essentially weaved through here so that the winds, as you can probably hear around me today, this will keep from snapping these vines off. So as we're coming through and cleaning these vines up, the first thing we start looking for are vines like this. Now you can't see it here, but these are actually a downward facing bud that have sent shoots and vines straight down to the ground. So these, over the next couple weeks, would literally start touching the ground. So we're gonna start by removing everything that is pointing down and get those cleaned up. So you'll notice that this vine here just popped right off, and these actually, as I was mentioning before, these can easily come off in the wind. And this one here is holding on a little tighter, so I'm gonna take some pruners and just cut it right up against the bud. Just like that. So starting to clear this out. Now, as I do that, I can see in here a little bit further, I have another one that's coming out of a downward facing bud. So I'm gonna go ahead and just remove that one while I'm here. So now what we're gonna do is go through, try to find our spurs, and we're gonna be looking for vertical shoots that we can feed through the wires. So again, continuing to clean up anything that's facing down. We're gonna also clean up anything that's facing horizontal, and then start to weave our vertical shoots up in through the trellising. So did a lot of thinning on this first vine. We've got several to go. Now, you'll notice these guys here have fruit set on here. So a lot of fruit actually on the ground. Now, this is our way of thinning these vines out. One of the things we noticed last year is the quality of the fruit wasn't as good. Also, they were very, very small. So thinning these out just like this, not only will it give the vine or force the vine to put more effort into growing these grapes and ripening these grapes, it'll also thin it so we get a better quality grape, which is really what we're looking for in the end. All right, so we're gonna get to the next vine. I wanna show you how we're weaving the vertical vines up in through the trellising.
This vine here, I'm gonna try to get under this wire and bring it back up through so it's on this side of the wire. But you have to be very careful because they break really easily, even the tips of them. So I'm gonna try to get this under here without breaking it. All right, so I got it to that side, and then I'm gonna come back through under this wire here. And then go across the top, and hopefully that'll stay and it'll catch on and train itself up the rest of the way. Girl, right behind you.
Nothing goes to waste. We feed the animals everything that we possibly can, and a lot of them love greens. Even our cooney pigs are munching down on these grapevines. So you get an idea. I've got a before and after for you, so you can see just how wild all these vines were before we got started, and then how nice and tight and vertical everything is, and nice and safe up against the trellis with the wind that you can see going on today. You can see just how much airflow is now able to get through on these vines, and all of the fruit now actually has plenty of sunlight. So the sunlight's penetrating very easily and getting onto the fruit here. That's what helps to not only ripen, but also up the sugar content, which of course, more sugar in advance when you go to do your primary fermentation means more alcohol in the end. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this newly established functioning farm in the Arizona desert, and would love to see you on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go in the comment section down below. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That's a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you.